Today, we are having some real talk about motherhood. What do you do when you feel like you're the one holding everything together? And if you stop, everything falls apart. The schedule, the planning, the remembering, the emotional weight, and making sure everyone is okay. If you've ever felt like the default parent, the family manager, the one mentally carrying everything while silently hoping someone would notice you need help, this episode is for you. We are going to talk about why so many moms end up carrying more than they were ever meant to, what it's actually doing to you mentally and physically, and 3 simple shifts that can help you stop holding everything alone. Whether you're hiding in the pantry, eating chocolate chips straight from the bag, no judgment, or cleaning the kitchen that somehow got destroyed 5 minutes after you just cleaned it? Take a deep breath, grab a pen and a journal, and let's have a little chat. Before we dive into today's episode, I would like to ask, have you ever thought, I just want someone to walk me through this? Because I want to invite you to go a little bit deeper. I send weekly encouragement, supportive scriptures, and simple practical steps to help you feel more grounded, clearer, and more like yourself again in this season. Because this isn't about managing your home. It's about restoring your peace. Scripture reminds us that God is not a God of confusion or overwhelm, but of peace. And sometimes we just need help bringing that peace back into our everyday lives. So if you don't want to keep doing this alone, come join me. Sign up through the link in the show notes. I remember my early seasons of motherhood when I felt like I was the only one keeping everything running. I knew the schedules, I remembered the appointments, and I made sure everything got done. And honestly, on the outside, it probably looked like I had it all handled. But inside, I was exhausted. And full disclosure, I still struggle with this sometimes today. Because once you become the one who handles everything, it becomes really easy to stay there. I remember thinking, how long can I keep doing this? I wish someone would just step in without me having to explain every detail, because somehow asking for help really felt like more work. I usually ended up disappointed, and I risked things not being done right. Maybe you felt that way too. Like you're carrying the responsibility, the pressure, the mental load, the emotional atmosphere of the whole home. And nobody really sees how heavy it is. Eventually for me, it caught up physically too. There was a season where my body started responding to the stress I kept ignoring. I hit a point emotionally and physically where I just broke down. Not because I was weak, because I had been carrying too much for too long without support, without rest, and without boundaries. That was the moment I realized what I had been calling strength all those years was actually survival mode. So let's talk about the shifts. The 3 shifts that you can start doing today to help prevent you from being like I was. Shift number 1, be honest enough to see what you're actually carrying. You're not just doing tasks, you're carrying the mental load, the remembering, the anticipating, the emotional management. When everything lives in your head, no one else can help you. Over time, invisible responsibility becomes invisible exhaustion. So let's start with this. We're going to do a mental load dump. Write down in your journal everything you manage, everything you remember, everything you mentally carry. The daily things, the future things, the tiny things nobody notices. You cannot share clearly what you haven't fully acknowledged yourself. And honestly, sometimes seeing it on paper is the first moment you realize, no wonder I'm so exhausted. All right, shift number 2. Stop assuming you have to do it all. You may have taken on more than you were meant to carry because somewhere along the way, doing everything became easier than hoping someone would help. Carrying it all became the default, not the design. So to shift this, you're going to choose one thing to release this week. Okay, I'm going to say that again because I'm already imagining some of you are just cringing on the inside. But yes, you're going to choose one thing to release this week. Just one task, one responsibility, one decision. Now communicate it simply. Can you take this over this week? That's all you have to say. It's not going to be forever. It's not going to be perfect. You got to be okay with that. Just one step towards sharing responsibility. I remember the first time I really started doing this. At first I felt so guilty. It was uncomfortable. Honestly, I was irritated because the people who were doing the things that I asked them to do did not do it the way I would do it. And then I felt like I had to just do it all over again because they didn't do it right. You know what I mean? But over time, I kept practicing this and I realized something important. Support doesn't have to look perfect to still lighten the load. Learning to let go, even the imperfect tasks, gave me room to breathe again. Shift number 3. Let support be simple. Again, not perfect. Support doesn't have to happen your way to still be helpful. Waiting for the perfect help keeps you stuck doing everything yourself. Perfection is a heavy thing to build a life around. Practice allowing support without correcting every detail. I know, sis. I know. I hear you. But this is so needed for you right now. You've already been doing the carrying everything and doing all the things, and you're exhausted and overwhelmed. What would it look like if you just tried? Just try to let someone help you with dinner. Fold the laundry, even if it's different than you normally do it. Or solve a problem that you're dealing with, but in their way. Not correcting them and trying to make it look the way you would do it. Let good enough actually be enough. Progress matters more than perfection. And honestly, nobody remembers how the towels were folded. All they care about is that they're clean and ready to get dirty again. If you've been carrying everything alone, I want you to remember this. First, you may be carrying far more than you even allowed yourself to fully acknowledge. Second, doing everything yourself was never meant to be the standard for motherhood. And third, support does not have to be perfect to be meaningful. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not failing because this feels heavy. You've simply been carrying too much for too long. Motherhood was never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders. So today, ask yourself this one question. Better than that, write this question in your journal and answer it to yourself. What is one thing I don't have to carry anymore? Because you don't have to drop everything overnight. You just need to have to stop carrying it all by yourself. Start there. Hey mama, I hope you enjoyed today's show. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who is deep in the chaos and could use it today? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Remember, you are my inspiration, so your review lets me know I'm blessing you. Alrighty, I am off to dance to the exit music, top off my iced coffee, and pretend I didn't just hear, "Where's Mom?" being yelled from the other room. I'll meet you soon for another episode. Bye, beautiful.